I recently met an economist and asked him to explain economics in one word. This is a trick I do because that shows clarity of thought. And he said, economy is basically transaction. And the moment he said economy is essentially the study of transactions, and the word is transaction, I smiled. Because the fundamental ritual in Hinduism and in Vedic Hinduism is the yagya. And yagya is essentially a transaction. Let me explain. Yagya is a word which you find in the earliest hymns of the Rig Veda. It is the fundamental ritual. It is what is explained in detail in the Yajur-Veda, in the Brahmanas. And what was a yagya essentially? Now in English, normally when you read an English book, they will translate it as a fire ritual or a sacrifice. But when you study it carefully, and you don't have to be an expert, you just have to read Ramayana, you read Mahabharata, and whenever you see the yagya, what is actually happening? There is a king like Dashrath or Drupad who is conducting a yagya. He is the Yajman. And he is calling upon a god. He is calling a devata. Uska avahan. He is doing avahan. That means calling the gods. And when the gods come, he makes an offering to them. He does ahuti and says, Swaha. I give this. And in exchange, he does falastuti. He expresses his desire of what he wants in exchange for what he has given. And if the devata is satisfied, the devata says tathastu, so be it. And he gets what he wants, maybe or maybe not, depending on whether the god is happy or not. But essentially, when you study the yagya carefully, you realize it's a transaction. There is an investor, the yajman. There is the investee, the devata. There is an investment called swaha, and there's a return on investment which is tathastu. Transaction, economics, which is at the heart of the Vedic rituals. It acknowledges the fact that humans are the only creatures who exchange. You know, exchange is what makes us humans. Animals don't exchange. And this is the difference between the human world and the animal world. The ability to exchange things is what makes us human. And a civilized society is where more and more things are exchanged. How do you earn a living? By giving value to others. And these values can be a product, can be a service, or an idea. Three things. There are only three things that you can transact. It's goods, services, and thought or knowledge. And that's what happens. So yagya essentially is a transaction. And it's not just a transaction of wealth. It could be a transaction of ideas, of love. So it's a complex idea. It is economics, it is politics, but at the heart is exchange, which is economics, which is the foundation of human society.